a mi show. Welcome to Catching Up with Claudia. Now, ojalá que se puedan quedar hasta el final para que puedan escuchar lo que va a compartir mi invitada o mi invitado. Así es que no se les olvide también de seguirnos por las redes sociales. Estamos en todas las plataformas. Hasta luego. Hola, ¿cómo están? Y bienvenidos. Welcome to the recording of La Super Comadre Claudia show and also the podcast because I'm also podcasting this. But today, on this day, I have a very special guest. She is a returning Super Comadre and she has an impactful story to share. And I want to bring her back so she can share this message and see how we, la comunidad, the community, can come out in support. But before we get to my guest, I just wanted to take some time to chat a little bit with my super producer, Liliana. ¿Dónde está Liliana? A ver. No te rajes.
Ay, comadre, qué bárbara. Casi no me meto a tu show, pero hoy tengo nuevo. Oye, hey, comadre, I have good news.
What is going on? ¿Qué hay de nuevo?
We're on the news.
Woo! We are in ¿Qué onda? A ver.
Radio Cristal USA is on ¿Qué onda magazine.
Oh my God.
Every magazine you open is gonna have our look. I'm gonna show you.
A ver.
It's gonna have our programming and a QR code so people can just go and don't miss any of our shows, any of our podcasts.
Gosh. So there's a QR code. A QR code. A QR code. That is amazing.
QR code, and it's very easy to just go find it. Go find a ¿Qué onda magazine anywhere. They're everywhere, comadre. In every panadería, every carnicería.
Pues voy a buscar de aquí, me voy a ir a una panadería para buscarme un panecito y también el ¿Qué onda magazine so I can scan the QR code and be like, oh my God, there we are. That's amazing.
And I'm excited because a lot of people, I went to an event of ¿Qué onda magazine. They celebrated their 32nd anniversary, and I was the one on the stage. I was presenting and I was singing for everyone, and I was so excited. And so Radio Cristal USA was there. So ¿Qué onda magazine, and you know what? We're right here.
There we are. Oh my God, I see it.
They can go and find the QR code.
Oh my God, let me scan it right now. Hold on.
I won't be able to do it.
I'm just kidding.
I'm just trying.
Let me see. Hold on. Let me try it. Let me see what happens. A ver.
I don't know. I should have.
Okay. Nah, it's not happening. But it's okay. I'm gonna go find one.
Yeah, they can always go to our platforms, and we have the QR code there too, so they can go straight to our website and see our programming, who you are, who every one of our guests, our radio hosts are. And we've been on air for 15 years.
Ya somos quinceañeras. Otra vez.
Estamos celebrando la quinceañera. Estamos de 15 años este año.
Años de nuevo. Oh my God, qué padre.
I'm excited. I'm so excited. And I want to thank you, comadre, for being part of Radio Cristal USA since 2016.
It's season 9.
It's been 9 years already.
It's been 9 years. We're on season 9 of La Super Comadre Claudia. When we're on episode 320.
320.
I've been talking for 320 times, an hour each time. So what's that? I don't want to do the math. I don't want to do the math. I can't do math. I can't do math right now.
All I can say is a lot of people are so thankful you are here, enjoying and also spreading the word, and with your beautiful and great guests.
Thank you.
I want to thank you for what you do, because it takes time, it takes effort, and it takes the guts. That's why we have a disclaimer right there.
Speaking of, yes, the disclaimer.
Así que ahora sí, te toca dar, mira.
Chanclazo time. So, remember, I still remember the day you invited me. It was after the person in the White House won.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna say his name. Or he was running.
He was running.
He was still running. Oh my gosh, I wish he ran off a cliff. But anywho, he began his campaign and I was like, what? Oh, this is crazy. This is not gonna go anywhere. And then he was running. And then what brought me joy and comfort and lifted me was using the platform that you created to bring on guests, to tell guests about candidates, to tell guests to vote, to tell guests, if you can vote, make sure you can vote. If you can't, it's okay.
I remember that was your main goal, to get people to vote.
Yes.
Just vote.
That was it. It was education.
Regardless of whomever. I mean, whatever, just do it. Just
but I did kind of tell him who not to vote for. But anywho, and that was through my chanclazo. So that's what the chanclazo was also given to. And I am not a violent person.
Oh, no.
However, when it comes to chanclazo time, some people just deserve a big old chanclazo. And, but it's helped me. There's so many folks that have gone and used, there it is.
Yeah.
We're not clapping. We're chanclazo. Those are chanclazos.
Yeah.
So I know the first time I heard that noise, I'm like, am I hearing things? What is that? You told me later.
La chancla voladora.
La chancla voladora. And
hey, comadre, I'm gonna be behind the scenes.
Yes,
now.
You are, but don't go yet.
Oh, okay, not yet.
Don't go yet. I just want to say thank you for everything you do. You are mujer, una guerrera, and no matter what falls on your lap or obstacle or challenge, you just tackle it.
Oh,
and
yeah.
Keep going. And I want to say thank you.
No, I
for and you know what? And we've been here for each other for the last 9 years and more.
And more.
So,
yes, and more.
I'm excited for this growth.
I admire you, and I admire every guest you bring. And I want the community to know your guests, because we're not here for us. We're here for our community. We're here for our people.
Sí,
so thank you, comadre, because we're kind of their voices.
Absolutely. And we're uplifting their platforms, their voices, their journeys, their what they have to offer, and we got to do that. And gracias por todo lo que has hecho.
Thank you. Thank you. Okay, comadre, I'll be right here behind.
Okay. Pues you heard it here from my super comadre producer, Liliana. We've been doing this now. We are Radio Cristal, quinceañera time, but doing La Super Comadre, and like I shared with you earlier, we're in season 9. We are doing episode 320. So welcome. For those of you that are here for the first time, this is a time and space to share thoughts, my guest thoughts, their ideas. I invite folks that have something to share for the benefit of mankind. Now, you may not always agree with everything that I share, and that's okay, because you can always turn it off. But if you want to stick around and hear another perspective and hear another side and just, curiosity, into it, then stay. Now, if you've been with me before, welcome back. Okay. But if you're new, just a little bit about me, I'm a mom. My background is education. I'm currently now working in the mental health space, and I am a lover of music, dance, and naps. I'm curious. I am committed. I am a collaborator. I'm a community builder and an uplifter. And that's what I do. And in today's episode, I have an amazing guest. She's a returning super comadre. Her name is Melissa Allala. And she has an important story to share, and I want you to know that. But before that, I think, Liliana, we have some sponsors that we want to roll. Dun, dun, dun. Roll the sponsors. So before we get going, if you need to get your pictures taken, you want to preserve some amazing memories, get Chris Vignon Media Studios to do that work. He's an amazing person. He also has work that you can go check out at his studio. So follow him, Chris Vignon, look for him, look him up, book him. And also another amazing sponsor, my current earrings that are hanging off my ears once you get a chance to see me again, are from Ilsa's Glam Boutique. She is always glamming people up. Find her pop-up stores by following her on Ilsa's Glam Boutique on Facebook, so you can get glammed up. And also another person, another Cookie Face Cosmetics, Latricia, L. Spencer Graves. She has an amazing product line. So if you see me shimmering and shining, that's her work. Those are the things that she sends me so that I could put them on for my show. And another amazing sponsor who helps me with my menopausias and my hot flashes, because I am in the hot flash era. Yes, I am in the menopausia era, and her products, Men Awake, have helped me. So don't pause, awaken, go to the Men Awake Facebook page and get your products if you are going through las menopausias. And if you're in the pre-menopausias, go ahead and get your stuff too, because you might need it. Or maybe your wife, or maybe your girlfriend, or someone in your community that might need that product, those products. All right. So I want to take this time to open it up to bringing in my guest, a returning super comadre, Melissa Allala. Hello and welcome back.
Hello, my dear friend.
Yes. Yes. Bien, mande?
Happy quinceañera.
That's right. Thank you. Can you tell we're not a day older than 15, right? Not a white hair. Yeah.
Well, I can't speak for myself.
But that's okay. You know why? Because I cover mine up. That's why you can't see that. No, but thank you. So I can't believe, 15 years has passed by and 9 with the show, and you are returning. So you came on during the COVID years.
Yeah, I did. I came on when I was working for the census. So making sure that, everybody was getting counted so that we could make sure that we were getting dollars to our community.
Yeah.
Which I'm hoping Congress is working on that.
I hope Congress is getting back to work soon.
Yeah, hopefully soon. There's a lot that's at stake with that. So
it is.
Yeah, absolutely. But yeah, the last time I was here was during that time. And COVID was a hot thing.
It was.
A lot. Life went on and went through, and just surgery, making sure everything's okay. Life just goes.
Yeah, it does. And I want to bring you back because there has been a significant event in your life. And I just want to open the space for you to share about you, a little bit about you for those that are meeting you for the first time, a little bit of our background. And I'm going to start with our background because our connection happened when we were founders of the Latina Rising organization. And since then, we've known each other. I remember you've helped me with some causes, with some candy. I think I showed up at your house and you donated some candy for something that I was doing. And then, and I want to say thank you for that, because it's all about la comunidad and connecting and figuring out how we can support each other. And I want you to just share a little bit to the audience, a little bit about Melissa. And then I want you to go into the story of why you're here and who you're here to share about.
Yeah. So my name is Melissa Allala. For the past almost 10 years, I've worked in government and nonprofit. I'm a graduate of the University of Houston. I've lived in Houston all my life. I am a proud Latina, proud queer woman, and I'm happily married. So, all those things. And that happened during COVID too. So
wow. Okay.
But yeah, that, I think right now that really encompasses me. I've been passionate about serving not just the public, but also getting involved in politics since my days at U of H. I have a background in political science with a minor in sociology. And so for me, it's understanding how we as a society move within politics.
Yeah.
But predominantly my undergrad studies were focused on food politics because, I lived in a food desert. So why don't we talk about that? But for me, I started engaging back then. I interned and I started getting more passionate about it because I wasn't seeing people like me. I wasn't seeing brown people. I wasn't seeing queer people. I wasn't seeing women that look like me, at these tables or in those meetings. And, representation matters a lot, especially when you're not seeing it. And you just wonder, okay, well, if I'm not seeing somebody that's like me, then what are we missing? Where's the gap?
Yeah.
So ever since then, I've been really involved, not just in government, but also on the nonprofit side. And yeah, currently I am the president of Cowrie's Lucky Star Foundation.
Mm-hmm. So thank you for stepping into those gaps that needed to be filled. From food desert to making sure that someone at the table looked like you, looked like us, for representing those voices that aren't always, added to the list. And that's especially now more than ever. There are so many forces out there that are wanting to erase voices that we have worked so hard to bring to the forefront, to the table, to the airwaves, everywhere. And so to continue doing this work, even though we're hearing certain voices, certain thoughts, thank you for doing that and continuing to do that. Now, I want to take us into your foundation, Cowrie's Lucky Star Foundation. And I know we saw the logo, and if Liliana just pulled it up right now so that as Melissa talks about it, people can see. And if you're hearing us, we're showing the logo for a foundation that you started. Tell us a little bit about Cowrie.
Yeah. So in order to talk about the foundation, I have to talk about Cowrie, who he was. So for me, Cowrie was my little brother. And he wasn't just that. Cowrie was an uncle, a son, a friend. When Cowrie was little, he was diagnosed. And I want to emphasize that because that wasn't just who he was, but that was a part of him. And I say that because there are so many people that know somebody with autism. And if you know somebody who, has autism and is able to cook for themselves or drive or go to school, then you understand that would be the type of person that my brother was. My brother was very to himself. Folks with autism, not all the time, but sometimes, socially, can be a little shy.
Yeah.
And that's exactly who my brother was. But he was very smart, very, very smart. And I wish I would have tested his IQ because sometimes his vocabulary just blew me out of this world. And he spoke so many languages. He learned them on his own.
Wow.
He learned how to play the piano on his own, and he loved writing and art. He would write music too. Okay. And that was his passion. So, unfortunately, last year, my brother was murdered. And that was really hard. It's still hard to accept that. So, with autism, unfortunately, society sometimes looks at people with autism as an other. And my brother struggled with that. And for him, it was a socialization part. He wanted a friend. Not saying he didn't have any, but, when you see other people and they're able to go have coffee with a friend or a group of friends, he longed for that. He longed for an intimate partner. Longed, to do things as like a neurotypical person would. And, it's not to say that my brother always saw it as a barrier for him. My brother was very much independent. He told my parents, no, I'm going to drive.
Oh, wow.
You're not going to stop me. I am going to drive. Yeah. My siblings were able to drive. I'm going to drive. He did. He's bien cabrón with my mom.
He told her.
But, it's all to say that contributed to his mental health.
Yeah.
And, that often led to depression and anxiety, like the rest of us, and his depression and anxiety, they weren't something outrageous, something that, you get institutionalized for. It was kind of like a moderate type of depression.
Yeah.
And in this particular instance, he had been, kind of struggling with his mental health for some time. I want to say maybe since like that December of 2023. And then I was informed by somebody that used to work with him. So Cowrie worked for me on a GOTV campaign.
Okay.
And even
which real quick, for those that might not know, the Get Out the Vote.
Yeah, Get Out the Vote campaign.
Yes.
So even that alone, that was a lot for my brother to take on because he had to interact and talk to people.
Yeah.
And for him specifically, that took so much energy. He would go and sleep for like a whole day and a half.
Yeah.
So, for him, it was really awesome seeing that. And he was able to, gain some friendship out of it. And fast forward to January, I had somebody that he met through the campaign reach out to me, and they were telling me that like, hey, he's messaging me, and it seems like he's struggling.
Yeah.
And at that time, I was going, I was having up and down with my job, calling out some toxicity.
Yeah.
And so I was kind of stuck in my own world, and I kind of wasn't seeing it.
Yeah.
And I had to call my mom, and I was like, mommy, like, have you checked on Cal? A friend reached out, like, he's not doing okay. Yeah. And, she approached him and she asked him, like, mijo, are you doing okay? And, at first, like, the thing about my brother is that he wanted to be so independent that sometimes he wouldn't let people in.
Oh, wow.
And it was hard to kind of pull things out when you're not willing to be open.
Yeah.
So, my mom said that he went to his room, and then a little later he came back and he was like, no, Mom, I need help.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. And your mom was there to receive that.
Yeah.
And let's talk a little bit about that work in itself from a parent and being, off the before we started recording, we also talked a little bit about mental health and making sure that within the Latino community that we are open to that ourselves if we're needing it, and also when we reach out to a friend, a family member, that they are open to it too. And that was so powerful for your mom to be like, okay, mijo, what's going on? And let's figure this out.
Yeah. So, for my mom, she was always with my brother.
Yeah.
He lived with my parents, and he was, they were just always together. On Saturday, they would go and wash her car. And so for her, when he passed, she was sad on Saturdays, even still now. But yeah, my brother was always with my mom. My mom, ever since he was little. And it's hard for the Latino community. I even get pushback from my dad where he's like, why do I need to go talk to a therapist? Para que le pago a alguien? Like, Dad, it's to be able to actually get professional help for coping. For me, therapy has helped a lot. Not gonna lie, a month after my brother died, I went straight to therapy. And it went from like a weekly basis to right now where, I'm going every 2 weeks. This month I'll be going weekly. And I'm not ashamed to say it, because
absolutely not. Yeah.
The more that we tell people like, hey, it's okay to talk to somebody about your mental health.
Yeah. Yeah.
The less that they see you as crazy.
Yeah, exactly. Growing up, I would hear, I don't know if you heard the same thing I heard growing up when someone was not doing well. Estaba mala de los nervios.
Yeah.
That was said a lot. And
or está malito, you know?
o está malita, o nomás que se levante y se bañe y ya, y que se ponga el maquillaje y que salga, eso le va a ayudar. And not realizing that there's something deeper than just taking a shower that's needed, besides just taking a shower, talking with a comadre, going and getting dressed and going out. There's something else deeper that needs to be dealt with. And then, yeah, so.
Qué depresión, ponte a limpiar. You
Yeah.
know, like, okay, don't be
yeah, that's another one. Yeah.
And as funny as that is, like, often, you know, a lot of people hear that.
Yeah, they do.
It is very much true. You know, we hear that in our community, and in our community, it's so hard. As a matter of fact, it's actually really hard to find Spanish-speaking therapists in Houston.
Yeah, it is.
I struggled a little bit finding one for my mom.
Oh, wow.
And we'll talk about that in a bit.
Yes,
but,
yes.
Yeah, for my mom, you know, she definitely was there. But, you know, for my brother, he felt like he couldn't wait for help. He had actually scheduled a therapist appointment, and that was just too long. And he tried going to like Legacy, and they had a year-long wait.
Wow.
You know, and that tells you about
the need
in our city. Like, we are saturated, and, you know, to have a year-long wait, like that's too long. And that's that he had you know, the ACA, Affordable Care. And, you know, he's had scheduled, you know, to see somebody, and he was going to see them on Thursday. He called for help on Tuesday. And I get very upset with this part because you know, my brother knew what to say in order to get help very quickly.
Okay.
So he called 911, and, you know, he basically told them that he had suicidal ideation.
Yeah.
That he had cut himself. And that wasn't true. And we know that because through medical records, they didn't find anything on his arms.
Yeah.
But he knew the trigger words to say so that he could
get help.
Yeah.
No one should have to get to that point.
No. So, and this is the upsetting part. The cops and the ambulance went to my dad's, my parents' house. And from there, the patrol took him to Bentob.
Okay.
In order to do that, they had to handcuff him.
Oh my God.
So the last image that my dad will see alive is handcuffs. And that's the part that infuriates me, because it's like, why didn't you have somebody that could intervene, you know, a crisis manager? Why didn't you have somebody that, you know, could have talked to him and de-escalated the situation?
Absolutely.
He routed it in a different way. But no, so he went there.
And that, what you just shared right now earlier about your dad's, like, why do we need to do that? Why do we need to call for, and that's infuriating too. And I can imagine, because now that pretty much might, I don't know, but it could make a person say, well, see, look what happened.
Yeah.
Potentially, right? I can see that, you know, like.
Absolutely.
That must have been devastating for your parents to have to see that.
For my dad.
And everybody, for your dad to see that.
For my dad,
you know?
You know, and I remember the next day very vividly. You know, my parents were calling me, and they're all like, you know, Melu, because that's what they call me. They're like, Melu, we need help finding your brother. And I was like, give him time. You know, he needs to call y'all. Like, don't be helicopter parents. And, you know, and the weird thing was, like, around noon, I got this weird feeling. I got this weird feeling, and I was like, something doesn't sit right.
Yeah.
And I was at home, and at 4:26, I will always remember that.
You always remember that time.
4:26 p.m., my mom called me crying. The hospital had called her to inform her that my brother had been murdered by his roommate. So essentially what happened was that we didn't know, but in the middle of the night, my brother was transported from Bentob into an inpatient facility. I'm not going to name the facility because I don't want to give them any kind of publicity.
Absolutely not. Yes.
But, you know, he was put in a room, and my brother was nonviolent, you know, nonviolent and very calm. He was a very calm guy.
Mm-hmm.
So at some point, he wasn't even there for 12 hours. At some point, somebody, like his murderer,
Mm-hmm.
got into a fight with another patient in a different wing.
Mm-hmm.
Now, this individual, he has a criminal past.
Mm-hmm.
He is violent. And actually, he has a court case the month before. So the month before my brother's murder, he actually attacked another
Wow.
hospital worker.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we have like a record here.
Oh, absolutely. And you can see it on Harris County.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and that's the thing about me. I was typing
Doing
away,
it, yeah.
and doing the
Right.
investigating, you know,
Right.
trying to make sure that I knew who I was looking at and what was going
Mhm.
on. And yeah, he has a criminal past, from petty theft to assault to murder.
Oh my gosh.
You know, you saw that pipeline happening.
Mhm.
But yeah, the reckless medical staff,
Mhm.
they took this guy from one wing and they put him in the room with my brother.
With
Mind
your
you,
brother.
just finished fighting with somebody.
Mhm.
And what I will say is that this person, so my brother is a little taller than me, so maybe like 5'8", 5'9",
Mhm.
weighed 132 pounds.
Mhm.
So skinny,
Yeah.
like super skinny. This person was double his size, he was 100 pounds more than him.
Oh my gosh.
And he's about like 6'2", 6'3".
Yeah.
So my brother had no fighting chance.
No.
And he attacked my brother. And, you know, I just remember like my mom called me crying and I immediately went into shock.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was like, what? Like, you know, I will always remember the words like mataron a tu hermano. And I was like, who? I have two. So, who?
Yeah.
And, you know, your mind is racing within 2 seconds that, you know, you're trying to hear like, from who?
Yeah.
Cal. And I'm a really strong person. Emotionally. His death has brought me to my knees.
Oh.
So it's really hard.
Yeah.
You know, he's the youngest of us 4. He's my baby brother.
He's your baby brother.
And like that, he was gone.
I'm so sorry, Melissa. I remember when you first shared and I was like, what? I know you. I don't see and talk to you every day, but I know you. And it was devastating to see that. And I can only imagine what you and your family have had to go through since that.
You know, it's been a road. We've been going to court. So the person was arrested and charged with murder.
Good.
The worst feeling is having to go to a chaplain inside of a hospital and for them to tell you. My mom fell to the floor.
I can imagine.
And I signed my brother's medical examiner. So, you know, as much as I was in shock, I had to step it up for my family.
For your family.
And, you know, that's kind of where I've been. I've had like to step up. And I'm not going to lie, it has taken a toll on me because, you know, mentally, I went from major depression to severe depression. I take 2 different types of depression medications so that I can try to be okay.
Yeah.
And again, I'm very forward. You know, I'm going to tell you like, I do struggle with my health right now. I loved my brother. I still love my brother. And it's my love. It's that deep love and passion that I have for my brother and my family. You know, we all have came together and we've created something beautiful. But right now, you know, my family, we still are going to court. As a matter of fact, next week we'll be in court on the 9th. And, you know, we've learned a lot through this process because, you know, we're fortunate that, you know, I'm educated, you know, knowing how to navigate the system. A lot of people don't have that. They don't have that accessibility. They don't have that knowledge. And, you know, we've been able to afford going to court. And,
Mm-hmm.
you know, there's times where I've gone to court and they'll reset it.
Yeah.
And come out and I call my sister and I'm like, sister,
Mm-hmm.
I'm mad. She's like, what's going on? I was like, they fucking reset court. I was like, you know, luckily I'm, you know, at the moment I'm not working, but
Mm-hmm.
can you imagine somebody who took the time off
to go? Yeah.
Just for it to be reset?
Yeah.
Or no update? You know, I remember not getting an update once and I was livid. Like, man, like y'all need to come on, y'all need to give me something.
Exactly.
Or having the bailiff have to tell me something.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, it's not the role of the bailiff to tell me an update. So, yeah, you know, we've learned things as a family. We've been moving as a family.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, it's you know, it's been a struggle. And grief is something that will smack you in the face.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it could be, I mean, even earlier today, just thinking of my brother and the waterworks just came down.
Yes.
You know, and it's been hard.
You know, I want to just take a pause here to just take a breath and just, if you're just joining this show today, we are remembering Cowrie. Melissa Allala is a proud big sister who loves her little brother. And Cowrie, like she said, was someone who was, you know, living life independently, living with autism, but still forging and moving through life and doing the things. And like you said, he sometimes was like, se ponía like cabrón with your mom and like, this is what I'm going to do. And you are keeping his name alive in our spheres, in our world, through Cowrie's Lucky Star Foundation. And Melissa, you are braver than anyone, stronger than anyone I can ever imagine. Thank you for continuing to fight for your brother. I know you have the Facebook page, Justice for Cowrie, and I would love for folks to find the page, follow it, and see how they can support this fight. And then, you know, this foundation, you know, within months, you, through, even with the grief, even with, I need to get up, I need to take care of me, I need to feed myself, I need to, you know, I got to be there for my family, my parents, and stepping up and being the voice for them while you are yourself going through it. And you mentioned earlier, and just, you know, sharing with the audience, just, it's okay to not be okay, and it's okay to reach out for help, professional help. And you are, as you're going through this and as you were experiencing this with your brother needing help, and then now you're seeing yourself going through it and supporting your family, your mom also. I think you meant before we recorded, you mentioned, you know, how mom needed the support as well.
Yeah.
And how do you continue, how do we as a community continue to remind folks, especially en la comunidad que habla español, que es importante de buscar apoyo profesionales cuando llegamos a una etapa en nuestras vidas cuando ya no podemos? Y quiero hablar un poquito en español para que se pueda escuchar en español, que cuando llegamos en un momento en nuestras vidas que no podemos con algo, es depresión o algo más grave, ¿verdad? Que ya no queremos estar aquí viviendo, o estamos pensando en el suicidio, ¿verdad? De buscar esa ayuda. Pero también has visto de lo que pasó tu hermano, de una lista, un tiempo largo para poder tener ayuda, en lo que él tuvo que hacer para que le dieran la ayuda, o quizás llevarlo a un lugar, ¿verdad? Y no es justo de lo que pasó con tu hermano, que murió en manos de alguien en un lugar donde que debería de haber darle ese apoyo. En español, por favor, si puedes, Melissa, decir un poquito en español de la importancia de buscar ese apoyo, un poquito de tu hermano y la fundación que has creado. Y luego vamos a cambiar en inglés otra vez para que podamos hablar del evento que viene y cómo la gente puede seguirte en las redes sociales, en las páginas que has creado para tu hermano.
Yeah, es un tema bien importante, porque en la comunidad no hablamos, o si no pensamos que alguien está loca, or, you know? Y yeah, I mean, I'd continue in Spanish, but
Sí,
I'm gonna try right now.
Okay, está bien.
But
and I can summarize. I
speak Spanish. I do.
Sí, sí.
I just think my thoughts are right now more so.
And more in English. That's okay. And I was if you're okay, I'll summarize in Spanish a little bit.
No, it's okay.
Lo que acaba de decirnos Melissa es que su hermano Cowrie murió en las manos de alguien, otro paciente, en un lugar donde deberían de darle una ayuda, ¿verdad? Y ahora lo que estamos viendo es que ella y su familia todavía están haciendo el trabajo para que su nombre siga en nuestras mentes, en el ambiente, que no nos olvidemos de este muchacho que necesitaba una ayuda y no le llegó como debería. Y él, una persona que vivía con autismo, él sabía en un momento que necesitaban ayuda y él habló con su mamá y dijo, mamá, yo necesito ayuda. Entonces él solito supo que yo necesitaba una ayuda, ¿verdad? Que no se olviden que si tú necesitas ayuda con la depresión o que tienes unas ideas de suicidio, que hay que buscar el apoyo, hay que hablar con alguien en la familia, con un amigo, con una comadre, o decirle a alguien y buscar ese apoyo para que no te quedas solo o sola, ¿verdad? Y lo que ha hecho Melissa con su familia y con un comité, ¿verdad?, de personas, es hacer una organización para ver cómo podemos seguir ayudando y apoyando a la gente que necesita esa ayuda y también darle saber a la comunidad, especialmente las que hemos crecido, ¿verdad? Que no se oye, no hablamos de eso, de la depresión, o levántate a limpiar y eso te va a quitar la depresión, o báñate y vístate y eso te va a quitar la depresión, cuando es algo más profundo y ya hay que hablar con un profesional, un doctor, hay que buscar y a veces no tenemos la habilidad o la aseguranza, pero hay que buscar los métodos o los caminos para llegar a esa ayuda. Y entonces ahora vamos a cambiar otra vez al inglés para que Melissa siga diciéndonos y presentándonos más de su fundación, cómo está apoyando a la gente, cómo vamos a seguir recordando a Cowrie con esta fundación que ella ha formado. Okay, so let's go back to Cowrie's Lucky Star Foundation and the mission and how you see keeping his name alive through the work in the mental health space and beyond.
So we created this foundation. It's a nonprofit, 501c3, and with the mindset of helping people like my brother, helping autistic persons, helping those with mental health challenges, helping those with financial challenges, right? That low income barrier, helping victims of wrongdoing, violent wrongdoing. And that's really, what this organization is about. And we want to ensure that we're not just there as a resource, but that we're uplifting as well. We want to see people and that's really what our organization is about. We're a new organization. We just started, we were founded in April, started, meeting in March with my siblings to talk about how can we help folks?
Yeah.
And we have so many great initiatives that we want to put. Like I said, we're barely a 6-month-old baby organization. And, for us, keeping his name alive is talking about him.
Yeah.
talking about his story, not talking about his murder, not talking about his death.
No.
We want to talk about him. We want to uplift him.
His life.
We want to talk about his life and how
Yeah.
beautiful it was, even though it was short on this earth. We want to talk about it, you know, because the more you talk about it, the more that people will listen, and the more that, you know, it may resonate with some people. Like, oh, I know somebody who's autistic, or oh, I know somebody who has a mental health, or I have a mental health challenge, you know, or, you know, I'm a victim of wrongdoing. And, you know, we're starting off our initiatives. We have an event coming up.
Yes, I want you to now tie in this beautiful event. One of your, I guess it's your first one. Is this your first official event?
Debut event, but we have Healing Through Colors, Dia de los Muertos art therapy.
Oh, that's beautiful.
And what we wanted to do is we wanted to mix culture, right? La cultura.
Yes, la cultura.
And bring that in with art, because my brother loved art. He was always drawing, always writing. Like, he, you know, just absolutely embodied that.
Yeah.
And we wanted to pay some kind of honor to it, but also bringing in our culture, because Dia de los Muertos is a really significant time where we get to honor those who are no longer here. And it's really important because, you know, we want to demystify, you know, the notion that it's a Mexican Halloween. No.
Yeah, no, it's not.
No, it's not.
No, it's not.
Time for us to come together as community. So it's going to be a really great event. Unfortunately, it's already sold out, but
which is a good thing.
Yeah, it's a great. No, it's a great thing, and we have some awesome sponsors like you, Claudia.
Thank you. No problem. I'm happy to support in any way. Me and my comadre Leslie, I'm like, hey, you want to do this? She's like, yes.
Yeah. So the way that we're envisioning this event is that, you know, folks will have an opportunity, maybe like 50 minutes to paint a calavera.
Oh, yes.
And then after that, we're going to have a remembrance activity.
Okay.
And we have a wellness team of 3 people, professionals, and they each have a different activity to do.
Oh, that's great.
I met with them last week, and you know, they told me what they needed, and I was like, okay. Went to Walmart. Everything was on clearance. Okay, that works for me.
Awesome.
But you know, we're gonna have not just the event, but you know, itself. Yes, we'll have the remembrance, but we're also gonna have a little bit of comida, like, you know, snacks. We'll have squinkles. We'll have fruta.
Oh, nice.
Dulces de Mexico. I personally went to Mexico to get them.
Special delivery.
Aguas, pan dulce, café. So yeah, it's going to be a really great time, and it's
beautiful
a new event, and things like these are needed in the community.
Absolutely. And just the connection, and I think this is so needed, is la comunidad, something that we know about, and then bringing in the mental health piece. I mean, that is such a wonderful intersection that is so needed. So that way it helps la comunidad feel like, okay, I can talk about this. Okay, I can still be sad about my loved one that passed away. Okay, it's okay to still talk about them in the present. And it's okay to still feel sad at times that I'm never going to get over it, because that's not for you to get over. It's you living with that, and then finding ways to take care of yourself with professionals or, you know, different techniques to continue moving forward in life. So
absolutely.
Yeah.
So live with the pain.
Exactly.
You learn coping mechanisms.
Yeah.
Or you go to therapy. You do things that will help you. But with this event, we want people to know you're not alone. Yeah. We've all, you know, most people have lost somebody. Yeah. And we're going to have an altar. So
nice.
Feel free to bring, you know, a photo.
Some pictures. Okay.
You know.
I will.
Yeah, unfortunately, we also lost my grandma this year.
I'm so sorry about that.
Yeah, so you know, we'll be having her picture next to Calgary, and it's gonna be, you know, I'm looking for.
It looks like a wonderful event of remembrance, of grieving, of connecting ourselves to what we can do to support ourselves when we do go through depression or some mental health needs. So I thank you for continuing to do this work and to bring this together. And anything you need, please reach out to me. Please reach out to us. If you have any other events coming up, Radio Cristal USA, La Super Comadre is ready to support and to share. Wow. As we come to a close of our time right now, before, I want you to share the ways that people can connect to you, follow you, keep up with the web page, the Facebook pages. So please share how people can follow and support.
Yeah, for sure. So if you are watching this, thank you for being on here. If you would like to support us, we do have 2 different pages. We have Cowrie's Lucky Star Foundation on Facebook, and then also on Instagram. On Instagram, it's at Cowrie Lucky Star _FDN. Feel free to please follow us. We'll be updating it as much as we can. I do want to plug in another page that we have. It's Justice for Cowrie. If you guys heard the story about my brother and you want to keep updated, please go on to that one. That is going to be a temporary page for now. You do have to friend request it, and I did that very specifically so. But yeah, in those pages, you'll find our link tree. And I currently do have a donation link because right now that's what we're looking for. We're looking for donations so that we can continue to do the work. We have some great initiatives that we're looking to do. We're looking to do a parent cafe in January. And we're not just going to do it in English. We're also going to do it in Español. I promise I speak Spanish. Se me atoran las palabras, pero, I do speak Spanish. But yeah, we're hoping that, hopefully my mom can facilitate this and connect with other parents that are grieving the loss of a child. We also are hoping to do a webinar series. And one thing that we'll be doing is a mental health first aid teach-in. So that way that, if you see somebody that's having a crisis, you can try to assist them, instead of having to have the cops. So we're going to have that. We're going to have some other great things. And I'm hoping that we can also do our fundraiser walk. That's really important. That we're hoping to do that in April of 2026 if all goes well. Okay. But right now we are currently, I think one of the greatest ways to support us is through donation. Okay. And, we're still building up. I don't have a website just yet. Once we do, I'll pass that on to you, Claudia. Okay. That way you can share it. But for right now, just go on to the social media pages, check out our link tree. If you want to make a donation, we thank you so much. We're trying to raise the funds so that we can go ahead and get keep the lights on and have a website.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. So I love your vision and I love your goals, and whatever we're here to support with, please keep us updated in the walk, the webinars, because it's so important that, like you said, having giving that knowledge to folks, especially in the police community, in any type of place where you are coming across folks that are in crisis. How do you de-escalate? Who's supposed to show up? And assess, figure out, and then it's so needed because things can be so different.
Yeah,
and have a different outcome.
We're also hoping to highlight nonprofits in those webinars, that are already doing the work. Obviously we are going to do some work. I think another initiative we have, not set in stone because I need to pass it through the board, but yes. Our sensory kits for, going back to school to kind of provide, the SPED or whomever is in charge of that at the schools, provide them with sensory kits so that we can give them to students or that they can use them while that student is there. Yeah. And that's really important because especially right now, everything's getting, defunded.
Absolutely. So
yeah. A lot of funding going around. And if we can just provide something small, it'll make a great big impact. this is what we're hoping to do with his name, with the foundation, in addition to a scholarship.
Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah.
Wow. So count us in on whatever we can do to support that, Melissa.
Yeah. I'll be announcing more hopefully at the event.
Okay.
We will be doing a scholarship in his name. We're actually partnering with formerly Houston Community College with their foundation.
Yes.
To, create a scholarship in my brother's name.
In your brother's name.
And, he was going and doing ASL over there.
Yes.
To do ASL so that he could help others who needed that. Oh my gosh. I just tells you about my brother's character, and this is why I'm doing it. This is why the foundation is in his name. Cowrie is who he was. Lucky Star was his favorite Madonna song.
I was going to ask, because that's the thing that keeps coming up. I'm like, is this has to do with the Madonna song?
No, absolutely. Just right quick, like my favorite memory of my brother is like when we went to go see Madonna, he dressed up in a button-down shirt. He had some khakis, and he had a sign that said, "I'm your lucky star."
Oh,
I have a picture somewhere.
Oh my gosh!
But that's definitely one of those favorite memories that I have of him, and that song will just come on randomly, and I feel like he's with me.
Yes.
I know he's with me.
Yes.
And we as a family want to ensure that his name and, is not his death isn't in vain.
Yeah, absolutely not.
It's going to make an impact in the community. And we're going to try to do, as best as we can to make sure that we keep this going.
Thank you. Thank you for doing that. Your brother is a lucky star. And so you being that lucky star sister.
Thank you.
So thank you for being here, my fellow rising Latina sister. Absolutely. Continue taking care of you, and we are here for you in community. So thank you so much for being here today.
Thank you, Claudia. I really appreciate y'all for allowing us to be on here.
Yes, thank you for sharing the story, because I know it's not easy.
It's not, but it will be.
Yes, yes. All right. So Liliana, I am going to close it up. It was a very heartfelt story here. And I just want to close up because with this, stay in community. If you're listening to my words, if you had a chance to be here today, stay in community, stay connected. Reach out when you feel that something's not right. And especially in our comunidad, where we don't always air out our laundry, our dirty laundry, right? Como se dice, no queremos que sepa la gente, ¿verdad? ¿Qué van a decir cuando hablemos de algo que nos está afectando? So I want to say thank you to our great sponsors for having the ability to be here and share Melissa's story and share Cowrie's Lucky Star Foundation and share the message of mental health is so important to keep an eye on it yourself, to keep an eye on your family, your prójimos, ¿verdad? I think that's how you say it in español. Because it's so important that we're okay in order to continue doing all the things that we want to do in life. And knowing that when things don't go okay, that we got to find a way to get that support. So now I'm going to share with you a way that helps me deal with the things that are going on in the political world. And just so you know, there's a disclaimer at the bottom that whatever I share has nothing to do with the station, RadioCrystalUSA.com, has nothing to do with my guests. This is all La Super Comadre. And I want to give a chulada en chancla. So I'm going to bring that back. So I want to give a chulada, and I want to see if my comadre can bring this up. Super Comadre Liliana, please bring on my chulada for today. My chulada goes out to Pope Leo. I don't know the numbers right there. I think Pope Leo, the X1V, I think it might be 14. Okay. Well, I just want to share this. And can you make this a little bit bigger, comadre? Because I can't read that. A lo más grande. La foto del Papa. Ándale así para que se vea. So I want to give a chulada to the Pope for this reason, because of his comment, his quote, his comment that he gave, I believe, yesterday. And what he's shared to the world is someone who says, I'm against abortion, but I am in favor of the death penalty, is not really pro-life. Someone who says, I'm against abortion, but I'm in agreement with the inhumane treatment of immigrants in the United States, I don't know if that's pro-life. So I just want to say thank you. I don't always agree with what the Pope says, and that's okay, but I am agreeing with him in this message that he sent out. And that is my chulada for today. Now, I'm going to just give a short chanclazo. And I'm just going to say, look, I need you folks that are maybe in the Red Hat Club, and I'm going to call y'all the Red Hatters, to listen to the message from the Pope. And maybe you're not Catholic, and that's okay, but it's just the words. That if we're going to go around with our red hat on and say and believe and post and share things that are not for the benefit of humankind, of humanity, I just stop and pause and listen. Just stop and pause and see, is what your red hat leader sharing something that is humane, that is for the benefit of humankind? And I don't care where you live or what language you speak. We're all human, and we all feel sadness, hunger, joy. We need to remember that we are all human, and that we need to make sure that when we are voting and for people to lead us, that the people who lead us truly do it for the benefit of humankind. Not just if the folks that are on the blue side of the aisle or the red side of the aisle, just people that are living and breathing. We need to make sure that we stop and really pay attention to what's going on and how these decisions that are being made by our elected officials are for the benefit of humankind, not the USA only people, or people with papeles, or people, no, just people. We need to put the human back in humanity. But that's my message for today. That's my chulada, my chanclazo. Thank you so much for being here and the recording and the live streaming of La Super Comadre Claudia with my guest, Melissa Allala, who came and shared Cowrie's Foundation, his Lucky Star Foundation. And we are going to be there. Myself, I'm going to be there on the kickoff event. And, we're just going to be here to follow the story, to support the story, and what can we do, because it's about community. So gracias por estar aquí con nosotros en este show, La Super Comadre de RadioCristalUSA.com. Este fue el episodio número 320 en la etapa 9. No sé si se dice season en español, pero lo voy a decirles, la etapa número 9. But this is season number 9. This has been a number 320 as an episode. And I'm just blessed to be here and to share and uplift communities, people, foundations, events that are for the benefit of humankind. All right. See you next time. Adiós. Y tan tan. ¿Ya se acabó? Yo creo que sí. Gracias por haber estado aquí en el show Catching Up with Claudia. ¿Tan tan? ¿Ya terminamos? Okay, bye.